Right, we're recording.
Oh, hello everyone. Hi, how are you?
We're watching Men in the Den, and this is Monday.
Yep. That works. Hello everyone. Welcome to another week here on The Den. This week we're going to talk about some TV comings and goings.
Media in general, yeah.
I think before I get on to a rant, I'm going to let these guys go first. So Derek, what do you want to talk about?
Man, I'm like so slow catching up on TV shows, and Steve's finally got me mostly caught up on Bojack Horseman. Oh my god, what was I sleeping on? That show was amazing.
So what is it you like about Bojack?
It's like absolutely every little stereotype about every single animal out there. The humor is unmatched. The all-star cast that they have. Not to mention, Steve's brother really said it best. It's not really that's the humor that gets you. It's the accurate portrayal of mental health.
What do you think, Steve?
I agree. I find the comedy is quite witty. I appreciate the portrayal of mental health. And the all-star cast is pretty surreal. Like, the amount of people they get in on that show are crazy.
I really can't add to this conversation because I haven't really watched that much because I'm not really a huge fan. Now I have,
But Andrew Garfield doesn't like Mondays.
I have seen the odd episode here and there that are cute, but I haven't quite gotten into it yet. So who knows? Maybe in the future.
But otherwise, I've just really been like trying to play all kinds of Kingdom Hearts before the Kingdom Hearts 3 release, and my god, that is frustrating. There's so much more to go. I just finished Chain of Memories, and fuck.
Trying to figure out the stupid. Like, the more I play these games, the more I try to read the story, the more I'm like, this makes no freaking sense.
Yeah. But
as much as I try to make sense of it, it doesn't make sense.
But I'm still like, my heart.
It's true.
It really doesn't make sense. As an outsider, I'm like, wait, what just happened?
But Xehanort is venomous, and what the?
And who's Diz again?
This is Master Iroquois, who was with Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, who are essentially Riku, Kairi, and Sora. You'll get it.
Spoiler alert.
But then, like, Roxas is Sora, and so is Shion?
But
and let's not get started about Namine. Fuck my drag, right?
Fuck my drag, right? You don't like my witch powers making you forget who everybody? You want to forget who I am?
All right.
I wanted to talk about a series on Netflix that recently came out called, what is it called? The Haunting of the Hill House?
Haunting of Hill House, yes.
The Haunting of Hill House. Oh my god.
We've
what
been
an amazing show.
We binge watched that in 2 nights.
Whoa, hold on. What happened first? First, you and Derek watched the first episode.
Yeah.
And then you were like, this isn't that good. We didn't really like it. And I was like, okay, well, let's give it another shot. So I started at episode 2. And
we were hooked.
We were hooked. And I'd shaved all my body hair off for this stupid Halloween costume I did. And then when I would get scared during the TV show, my stubbly, prickly hairs would stand off my body.
It was like hugging a porcupine, this one right now.
Yeah. It was like,
at least it's
I had
getting.
goosebumps.
To be fair, it's getting a little smoother now. It's been a week since he shaved, so now things are starting to grow in. But
Yeah.
it's been a rough week.
It has been a rough week, especially for me.
Poor Steve.
It's like, I think that it peaks at like episode 5 and episode 7.
No, it was
Episodes 5, 6, and 7 were the.
Yeah.
No, 6 and 8 were the highlights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was 8. It was 8.
Yeah, 8.
It was so good.
Once you get to about episode 5, that's when it really.
Yeah, if you can
turns
make
up
it
a notch.
halfway through the season, you will like it. And
Apparently, we should also be checking out Castlevania. Apparently, that's the second season.
The Castlevania anime is really good. I've heard a lot of good about it.
First season was great. I haven't watched the second season.
I read some stuff about the fight with Count Dracula being amazing.
Well, maybe we'll start that tonight.
and I heard there was like edgy Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Netflix is kind of killing it right now, to be honest, in Canada. I mean, I know you guys probably don't have a lot of the same stuff in the States.
But
Another one.
get it. Kim's Convenience.
I was just about to say another one we've been kind of getting into is Kim's
is
Convenience.
absolutely such good comedy.
Oh,
It's
God.
Canadian.
It's Canadian. It's got a light element of
There's
stereotyping.
tongue in cheek.
Very tongue in cheek.
Very
Yes.
tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
The very first episode talks about a 15% discount for being gay.
Yeah.
So it goes from there.
And the Korean immigrant shopkeeper can apparently tell who's gay and who's not gay with 100% accuracy.
It's really funny and worth checking out.
Oh my. So yeah, so bottom line with all we've talked about so far, Netflix got a lot of good shit going on. You need to go check all of it out if you're into TV. Now, this one they probably won't have too much input on because they're not big wrestling fans like myself.
I'm into it.
So,
Dash Wilder's ass, but I'm into it.
oh god, you wish you were into Dash Wilder's ass.
I
But anyway,
do.
But anyway, we'll get away from that. We'll delete Gate and do
Leave
alone.
Dash alone.
So let's start on a positive note first. And actually, you probably could chime in on this because you watched a little bit of it with me.
I didn't watch that.
You watched Evolution though.
I did.
So
Incredible.
So WWE's had 2 pay-per-views in the last week. So the first one was WWE Evolution, which was WWE's answer to having an all-male pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. So they gave the women their own pay-per-view, and
It was so much fun.
they the ladies killed it. They kept up with some of the best men's matches that I've seen in the last few years, especially the Becky Lynch and Charlotte match, which was amazing. Now, I will say, I mean, there was some pretty big botches in the matches, but that is to be expected, seeing as the ladies don't generally get the spotlight that the men do. So, you know, I'm sure there was some nerves there, and, you know, this being the first time. But basically, I would say out of all the pay-per-views this year, this would have been one of the top pay-per-views for the entire year. So that brings us to part 2, the second pay-per-view, which was Crown Jewel, which aired.
I'd say Evolution was missing one thing though.
What?
Female microphone Kirby.
Oh god. Oh, he's
Vicky
talking
Guerrero.
about Vicky Guerrero. I mean, yeah, I think she should have been there, but she made her appearance at Royal Rumble. We let her have her moment.
More Kirby microphone.
But this brings us to part 2, which was Crown Jewel. So, there's been a lot of controversy around Crown Jewel because it was done in Saudi Arabia, which, as we know, given that the American journalist was just recently killed there, and it looks very much like the Saudi government was responsible for this, and lots of other American companies have pulled all dealings with Saudi Arabia. WWE chose not to do that, which in itself was a controversy, just going there in the first place. In fact, 2 wrestlers pulled out at the last minute, which was John Cena, who last time they had him in Saudi Arabia did a promo promoting Saudi Arabia, and this time he completely backed out. And the second one was Daniel Bryan, who kind of has made it clear that he pulled out because of the country's treatment of homosexuals, as well as treatment of Syrian wrestler Sami Zayn, who's Canadian, but his nationality is Syrian. So they would not let him participate in the last Saudi pay-per-view earlier this year. So he pulled out at the last minute. So there was a number of problems with this pay-per-view, and the very first one started with, this was the moment they chose to have Hulk Hogan return. So
Casual racism.
yeah, I mean,
So for us who are not big wrestling fans, why is that a big problem?
so Hulk Hogan had a few years back had a tape come out that had him using some very colorful language. About black people.
Wow.
Yes, so he was essentially taken completely out of WWE TV. He was taken out of all of the record books. They completely took him out of everything. His name was completely removed from
It
the
was
WWE.
like damage control, right?
Now, there had been talks behind the scenes that Hogan was going to make a return very soon because he'd made his apologies and did all of that. But to do it in Saudi Arabia was a terrible idea given the controversy that was already ensuing. So Hulk Hogan was a terrible moment, especially since the Saudi fans didn't even react to him. Whereas had he made his return in the States, there probably would have been a bigger response. But because he returned there, the controversy ensued. Then there was the championship match. So the matches themselves were very lackluster throughout the whole thing, to say the least. They had a tournament going on for the best wrestler in the world, which only had 6 American wrestlers. Go figure that one out. Oh, sorry, 8 American wrestlers. Figure that one out. So they went through the whole tournament. So then we get to our championship match, which was Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman right now has amazing heat as a face, and nobody likes Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, he hasn't been around enough. They've given him the belt on and off for the last 2 years, and I think the number is, and you can quote me in the comments if I'm wrong, he's had somewhere, I think it was 7 title defenses in a year and a half. And they gave him back the belt again. So that was the first thing. And not just giving him the belt back, spoiler, but they essentially quashed Braun Strowman. He got one move in and got 4 F5s, and that was the end of the match. So it was literally done in like less than 5 minutes. So that was bad enough. Then the next match was the finals, where The Miz, now, we're waiting to see if this is true or not. The Miz injured himself in the last match. Shane McMahon took his spot in the final, and then won the tournament. So the best wrestler in the world apparently is Shane McMahon. So for all of us who are wrestling fans know that that's also a crock of shit. So that is a shit ending for the tournament.
So they had a tournament,
yeah,
and then they made it to the absolute final round.
Right. So the rest,
and one of the guys tapped out. Someone else subbed in and won.
And won. And
Wow.
one of the owners of the WWE. Yeah. So I'm sure there's a storyline being built behind that, but I think that's just a slap in the face to the fans that were watching. So yeah, those were the moments that stood right out. The rest of the matches, even the big match with DX and the Brothers of Destruction.
Oh, what about you ranting to me about the geriatric match?
Yeah, that's the geriatric match. That's what I was calling it as it came on, because unfortunately 3 out of the 4 wrestlers probably should have retired. Like, they should be let to retire and not come back, because they're just not. They're not that great in the ring anymore. What are you doing?
Pikachu ears on you.
Pika Pika. So yeah, that's all my feelings. So if I were to rate these pay-per-views, I would give the women's pay-per-view probably a 4 out of 5, whereas I would give Crown Jewel about a 1 or a 1.5 out of 5. I would say Crown Jewel was by far the worst pay-per-view of the entire year. And it might even be very close to the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was the other Saudi pay-per-view earlier this year. I call that one Botchamania because there were so many botches. But that's my...
But Titus O'Neil sliding under the ring was probably the best thing ever. Like 10 out of 10 would recommend watching.
I mean, I've been watching wrestling since I'm 5, so I'm really passionate about this, and this is why I'm ranting so much about this. I've been watching this for over 20 years, and I'm actually considering not watching anymore because of the lack of respect that the Friday's pay-per-view had for the fans and for everybody involved. So that, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that, but yeah, that's how I feel about that. So I think we covered everything.
Oh yeah, you were fired up right
I just ran it for what?
Visibly worked up.
Yeah, but I have some good news.
What?
Gaga today announced that she is a gamer.
Oh, did she?
She is in the middle of Bayonetta.
Oh, wow.
And she was tweeting all about it today.
Well, I want to have her, like, online Overwatch or something and play with it.
Trixie Mattel plays Overwatch.
So does Mystique Summers Madison?
Yeah, we have on PSN. So, Mystique, if you're watching and want to join us, please do.
All right. Now, I also want to send in a big thanks to the people from our last week's video. We got some good responses from our last week's video,
Yes.
including some people that appeared in the video. including Trent. We really appreciate your comments on the video. We got comments from the guy in the blow up Pikachu that I was hugging.
Yeah, he found us.
He found us, and so we and
Xantar123, you've commented in the last 2 videos. Thank you, and keep on commenting.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you to everybody who's commenting on the videos, and keep up the great work. And keep watching, because I'm sure we'll have lots of more fun things coming up.
And look, the 3 of us in a video again. For
I know.
For twice.
Oh my God.
This will be it for a few weeks, because
I'm in Toronto next week.
Yeah, Steve goes away next week.
And you got a conference the week afterwards.
Yeah, well, he'll be here for the
I'll be here on the weekend.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. So you'll get a Greg and Derek video probably next week. But thank you for everyone for watching. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Tune in to the rest of the guys' videos to see what they're going to talk about this week. And as mentioned in previous videos, you can check out our merch on Redbubble. I know, right?
Whoa.
Wouldn't you want to wear a piece of Men of the Den?
You should get a pillow. I hear they're quite nice.
The Men of the Den pillows, yes.
Yeah, so apparently that's one of our top sellers, is actually the pillows.
Really?
Yes.
I was going to comment on that, but I think I'll leave them alone.
Well, you want to sleep with Men of the Den? Get a pillow.
Oh dear.
And all of a sudden our sales are through the roof.
Sales are through the roof.
Yeah.
Phil, we just sold 100 pillows.
Yeah. Great, I'll show you the other tip then.
Oh god. Minus 50 pillows.
Oh, whoa.
Those are the dirty pillows there.
Those are the dirty pillows. All right, everyone. Well, have yourselves a wonderful week.